In the name of the Father, of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Peace with you.
And established 2 offices, Dar es Salaam and Nairobi, the third being in London, created the Triad. So Amias Connell, together with David Bristow, Ian McCulloch, I think you've seen some of his buildings, and very energetic and very successful Daniel Matissa was the other partner in the real heyday, I guess, of their work in Nairobi. It was Tim, unfortunately, yes, he passed away 2 weeks ago, and we shall miss him. So, typical of much of his work, major work here, was collaborative with other architects, of which this is an example. John McAslan Partners were selected to drive this concept design, while Triad were the delivery architects, with Arabs, East Africa Engineering, led by Caroline Ray. So that was the team: McAslan's, Arabs, and Triad. The fourth very important piece of that team was the art. The artist, his trade work name is John Glass Painter. You'll see his painted glass, and you'll see all of the art was directed by him, even though executed by others. So he was the fourth piece of the team. So building number 101 is helped me in the rubric because it describes a poetic building, and that has given me the direction to present this talk. So we'll start with John chapter 19, verse 31, which is the description of the piercing of the heart by the Roman soldier on the cross, and that is led to the if you like, cult of the Sacred Heart, and is depicted typically as a heart with light emanating from it. So I let you consider that as the primary representational idea. There's been a church on the site since the 1930s, originally under that tree, which is a very important traditional tree, the chief's office. Can't remember the name of its
Mugumo tree.
Mugumo tree. So in the 1930s the church was simply under the tree, and then a small church was built, and then a bigger church, which was then extended, which is actually a metal frame truss, single story building, and then one thing and another, this modern intervention was initiated, I think probably, in fact it was in design, concept design for some years, breaking ground early 2012, and so then consecrated on May the 24th, 2015.
Parla alle profondità del nostro cuore. Oggi Dio ci dice che gli apparteniamo e ci ha fatti. Noi siamo la sua famiglia e per noi Lui sarà sempre presente. Non temete.
The gates, the campanile, and this mosaic, and you're in this courtyard space where these three elements are held in tension. with the garden and this mosaic. I think there are two elements, and actually three, that are obvious references to Florentine Renaissance, of which the doors and the panelling are the most obvious, well, and the campanile. Ghiberti's panels for the east doors of the Florentine baptistry, 1592. The gates create this ambiguous transparency from the outside. Your rubric also mentioned materials, so I would say two things before I let you go in and see for yourself. From the material side, there is a deliberate poesis of, or poetics of wood, that the living, a material that was, obviously living, that the use of wood and light are treated ambiguously also. You'll see that in the doors and in the vault, where light and wood are used for a mediatory purpose. The spatiality is interestingly distorted by this trapezoidal plan, both in plan and the vault itself are all in a cone of solid geometrical trapezium. Now, you judge for yourself how that distorts your perception of the perspective space, and whether that is an effective poetic device for the sacred. Concrete from there's a sequence or a series of ribbed, fantastic concrete arches which progress. That is the basic rhythm of the structure. The chapel is presented as a miniature, the Lady Chapel as a miniature device, again common in Renaissance architecture. So there aren't side chapels as such, probably because of the, I mean, effectively there is a little side chapel. It's the confessionals on this side as an apse or a niche. So that's an introduction.
Thank you. Thank you very much.